I'm Miss Brown, and I'm a career educator. And I want to say welcome to all incoming freshmen to your high school career. How exciting! I'm happy and proud of all of you. Now, the reason I've made this video is to let you know that ninth grade can be stressful and overwhelming. Number one, it's a new experience, and for many of you, you may be going to the largest school you've ever attended, and that can be overwhelming. But it doesn't have to be. The first thing you have to know that your teachers here, and you have many more now than you may have had ever before, we are here to support you. We are not the enemy. Oh, I know we may seem a little, strange sometimes, or act in a way that you're not accustomed to, but the curriculum that you're involved in high school is much more complex, compacted, and it goes at a much faster rate. So it's not the exact same thing as middle school, and we want to make sure as educators that you get everything that you need to get to make sure you're ready for all of the required examinations and of course your entrance exams for colleges. And that'll start as early as ninth grade, believe it or not. Some of you may be going to very small private schools, and no matter where you are, we want you to be successful. So it's very important that you understand all the information that we provide for you as teachers as you get started and you have your freshman orientation, that you know where everything is. And all those rumors about freshmen in high school, don't worry about them. You'll be just fine. So once you have all the information that you've had and your schedule, which really should have been set during your 8th grade year, make sure you go over your schedule, you meet all your teachers, you know what their expectations are, and you and your parents can review your schedule, because sometimes between the 8th grade and coming into high school, some things may change. So if you need to change any of your classes, or there's holes in your schedule, or any questions about your schedule, during that first week of school, you need to talk to your counselor and make sure you know who your counselor is, and make sure you talk to them at least once or twice a month to make sure everything's okay. And there are other adults in the building, depending on where you go to school, that can help you as well. So once you have all the information you need and you're set with your schedule, whether you're taking honors, congratulations, advanced placement, oh, I am so envious of what you're going to be doing with your future, or other classes, you can feel confident that your teachers will help you. Number two is make sure if you have any questions about your classes, what's going on in your classes, that you communicate that with your teachers, your parents, and other people in the school. That's important. Your fellow students can also help you, but it's important that you make sure you communicate with your teachers if for any reason you're having trouble academically. You don't want to fall behind, because if you fall behind, well, you may have trouble catching up, your grades may slip, and we don't want that. We want to know as soon as you think you're having trouble to communicate that with your teacher. And your teacher will have times when you can see him or her one-on-one. So make sure you know that. Also, it's not all about academics. In school, there are groups, there are clubs, there are athletics, and if there's something or a club you want to join, ask questions. Make sure you communicate. Also, sometimes if you find yourself in a situation where you don't feel safe, or if there's something that someone's doing that's bothering you, make sure you communicate that with an adult in the building. It doesn't always have to be a teacher. It could be a librarian, it could be a custodian, it could be in the cafeteria, but we want to make sure you feel welcomed and safe in the school. And we can keep things anonymous. Just because you tell us doesn't mean we'll go broadcast your issue or your problem to the whole school. We'll never do that. We're very sensitive to make sure you have what you need. And you can always talk to the principal, or have your parent, who should be aware of the situation, contact the principal, assistant principal, or counselor. So never feel like you're alone, and never feel like we as the adults in the building, the educators and other staff, that we don't care. We do care. We want you to have a good experience. We want to make sure if there's any questions about any aspect of school, even if it's after school or coming to school, because sometimes you may face an issue on your way to school, on the bus. Those things can be talked about, and those issues issues or problems can be worked out. So communication is so important, and we care about you holistically. We want you to do well academically. We want you to enjoy the school socially. We want you to enjoy being a freshman. Okay? So information and communication are the first two things. Now the third thing I'm going to talk about is accountability. We want to make sure that we are accountable to you. That means we as educators are doing what we need to do to meet your instructional needs. But you also have to be accountable that you're doing the best for you. And this is your life. I always tell students, getting an education is investing in yourself. And you know what? It's the best investment you'll ever make. So please, be accountable to what our goals are for you. Have goals of your own, visions of your own. If you don't know how to do that, we can help you with setting goals. And be accountable for what you're doing in school. And number 4, be responsible. We're responsible for making sure we're ready when you come in every day. But we need you to be responsible that you're also prepared to learn, you're prepared to report out, you're responsible to share, that you're prepared. We're going to be responsible for being prepared, but we need you to do that as well, because education is a partnership. It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. And believe it or not, a lot of times as educators, we learn things from you. So if you remember these points, that you have to have information, you can communicate, you are accountable and responsible, then you have a great formula to have a great successful freshman year. And you have your peers. And I think it's important to choose friends wisely, and you want to choose friends, so number 5 will be peers and friends that have the similar goals that you have. If you see people who are kind of doing things that don't agree with what you think is right, it's okay that you don't associate with them. And as we grow, we change. So make sure you're always making the best decisions for yourself, that you don't let other people who don't have your best interests at heart make those decisions for you or influence you. Because if the person is a true friend, they will want what is best for you. And always remember that high school only comes around once. We want you to start it off with a great freshman year. So I believe you can do it. I'm excited for you. So enjoy freshman year. Woohoo! Welcome to high school.